All right, so exciting. Let's do our first current problem. Let's suppose that we have a hairdryer, an object that I have not used in about 20 years, sadly. But let's say that I had one anyways from 20 years ago, and that there's a current going through it of 10 milliamps. In other words, 10 times 10 to the minus 3 amps, or you could think of it as coulombs per second. All right? And so the question is, how many coulombs of charge pass through the device every minute? All right? So how would we solve that? Well, let's look at what we already know about the relationship between charge and current. We know that current is equal to charge per time, which means that our charge would be equal to the current times the time. Okay? So here's what we know. We know that the charge is equal to 10 times 10 to the minus 3 amps, or coulombs per second, but the time is going to be 60 seconds, right? So in that 60 seconds, in that 1 minute, the amount of charge that we get is 0.6 coulombs. 0.6 coulombs of charge pass through that hairdryer in that full minute. And that kinetic energy of all those electrons, right, is what actually powers the device. All right. Now, the next question says, how many electrons pass through the device every minute? So if it's this many coulombs, I want to drive home, I want to distinguish how 0.6 coulombs is very different than the number of electrons that actually pass through the device every minute. So we know that in each coulomb, right, well, we know that there is 1.6 times 10 to the minus 19 coulombs for every electron. So if we want to find out how many electrons that is, we just take 0.6 and divide by 1.6 times 10 to the minus 19. What do I get when I do that? I get a remarkable answer of 3.75 times 10 to the 18. That is a lot of electrons. Okay, that is a ton of electrons. And that's very, very different than the amount of coulombs that pass during that same amount of time. All right? It just goes to show you how thankful you should be to all the little electrons in your life, because that many of them, that preposterous number, just let you use your hairdryer for a minute.